I'm Vic and welcome to our live DEFCON Rugby Show. That's DEFCON Monday, Vern. Big weekend, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people were upset this weekend. A lot of people couldn't take the pressure.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend, man. Tough weekend.
There we go, man. Kick up the arse. There you go. Now, look, what are we going to talk about today? Let's first have a look at the DEFCON scale. You can decide today what's the DEFCON scale, son.
DEFCON 2, man. Holy crap.
You're saying DEFCON 2. It's holy shit. Well, are you talking from a Stormers perspective now?
Yes, I am.
Because the Sharks is it's all calm because we know we cuck.
Who cares about
There you
the
go.
Sharks?
Holy crap. Okay, DEFCON 2 coming up. Let's have a look what's coming up in the show. In any case, the topics, quickly put them out there. We'll talk URC, obviously top 14 Super Rugby. We're not going to talk it twice, even though it stands there twice. Japanese League, Six Nations. We've got to talk about a few things today. We've got to talk about a lot of things today. But first of all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're on our way to 144,000. Looking good. And if you want to get hold of these two idiots that are on the screen right now, that's the email at the bottom. There you go. I got a little surprise for the Stormer fans as well today. I got a little bit of a surprise for you guys. But do we start in the URC or would you like to start in the Super Rugby? Let's mellow. Let's start in the Super Rugby so you're not too excited already.
Doesn't really matter.
Let's look at that third round of the Super Rugby there. Look, we had good games on the weekend. We had that Crusaders Chiefs game was phenomenal.
I didn't see it because only one of us can watch, but
You
yeah,
had the Brumbies
looked
against
fantastic.
the Blues, right?
The Brumbies, yeah, we'll get into that one when we
But
get
we
to
can
the
always
Brumbies.
both of us watch because if the one's doing it on Stan Sport, the other one can watch it on Flow Rugby.
Yeah, but Flo doesn't bring everything.
Ah, they don't go with the flow. But hey, look, it is heating up and no one in the Super Rugby is now without points. Everybody's got at least one win in the books.
Yeah.
Let's say this year, it seems like the Aussies are doing really well this year, Vern.
They are doing well. I've watched the Brumbies now twice, and I must say the Brumbies were dominating that game against the Blues. Just the Brumbies always dropped the ball, always messed up.
The
And
Aussies went unbeaten this weekend, man.
I know, but the Blues always capitalized from the mistakes of the Brumbies and nailed them every time with a try. So the Brumbies were the better team, but I just didn't think they were going to get there at the end. But they did. They did get there at the end, so that was a good result.
But I mean, we've got some big teams that I think are a little bit, I don't know. Let's quickly go to the table. Let's quickly go to the table and we'll go back to the teams afterwards. So the Brumbies are out in front there, followed by the Waratahs. So Aussies 1 and 2. The Chiefs, I didn't think the Chiefs were that great. The Chiefs folded on the weekend against the Crusaders. They were up 21-7. And then the Crusaders outscored them like by 40 points or something like that. Man, it was crazy. Hurricanes, Blues, Reds, Crusaders after that win. That was a big win for the Crusaders. They needed that win.
Yeah.
They needed that win. The Highlanders. And then like I said at the beginning of the season, I do believe that 9, 10, 11, those teams that are there now, we did say that they were going to play for the wooden spoon this year. The Force, the Drua, and Moana.
But if you check everything from the Hurricanes, who's got 6 points, down to Moana Pacifica with 4.
It's close.
That's tight.
It's close. Of course, not everybody's got 3 games. The Hurricanes, the Reds, and the Waratahs have had their bye week. But we'll see. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a very, very good Super Rugby season this year. I think it's going to be tight, and I think the Aussies this year can make it interesting.
Yes, and it's looking like that at the moment. It's looking like the Aussies, especially the Brumbies and the Waratahs, are up for it, man.
Because they didn't beat mongrel teams. They beat good teams.
Decent teams.
The Brumbies have played really well this season. They've played really well this season. But I got to say, I'm going to go back to those games. I was very disappointed in Moana Pacifica on the weekend. I did that game. It was terrible, Vern. It was terrible. They just didn't play well. I didn't see the Reds beating the Highlanders. I'll be honest. I didn't see the Highlanders losing to the Reds. I thought the Highlanders would win that one.
Yeah, and it looks a pretty one-sided affair anyway.
Yeah, and then the Drua against the Hurricanes. Now that was a good game. The Drua showed what we always know about the Island boys: heart, and just more heart. They weren't the better team. I mean, if you look at the lineups, obviously the Hurricanes are the better team. But they just played with that passion, aggression, that typical Fijian. What you get from Fijian teams, big Kuliones.
Fijian grit, man.
That was
just
good.
Grit, determination, heart, passion, everything you want in a rugby team.
And I'm telling you one thing now, Chiefs fans, if you don't have Damian McKenzie, you are cuck. Because Josh Jacobs there is not on the same level as Damian McKenzie.
Yeah.
Not by a country mile, man. That's like comparing fucking Sasha Feinberg to Andre Pollard in kicking. It's country miles, man. It's country miles.
Country miles.
But
that Brumbies Blues game. Wait 1 second. The Brumbies Blues game, Caleb Clark played amazing. That boy is mastered for the Blues.
But look, I got to tell you, man, Roy God played well. I mean, look, the New Zealanders have got some good fly-offs and they've got some good scrum-halves, or as I've been told, it's called halfbacks down there in the south.
Yeah, what they call down there is.
But I got to say, what's his name is also good. Leroy Carter been playing really well. Curtis Ratima. And they got some nice. And there's this guy called Burns. I think it's Derby or Burns. He's just started off now. Really
Burns
good.
must be good.
Really good. And Josh Lord, I thought he was fantastic. They got some good players coming there, man. I'm telling you.
Let me say something about
a lot of the Aussie games. You've done all the Brumby games so far. I haven't done any of them.
But the Brumbies, okay, they've got this guy who plays number 8, Kale. He reminds me a bit of Pierce Spies. I don't know if you can remember Pierce Spies, the South African number 8. He reminds me of that. A total specimen of a man. Kale, he played really well. And James Slipper with the 201 Super Rugby games. He still plays fantastic, man. You must just check this one. He made a grubber kick, a prop, making a grubber kick, and they scored the try. Meredith scored the try afterwards, a fly-off. Absolute. James Slipper played amazing, man.
I got to say, that Chiefs Crusaders game, it started off, the Chiefs went up 21-7, right? The first 3 tries of the Chiefs, Vern, were out of this freaking world. And then it was like the Crusaders said, whoa, stop this crap. And then they pulled out their defense for about 25 minutes and they just ran over the Chiefs. They just ran over them. And, normally we're not used to seeing New Zealand teams with ball handling errors.
No.
But there was a hell of a lot of ball handling errors. In the Drua against Hurricanes game, I can understand it. That was like Cardiff on the weekend in URC. That was in Fiji at that pitch. Within 5 minutes, Vern, you couldn't recognize the players anymore. There was so much mud on the pitch. The pitch was breaking up. It was raining like Badonnet. But it was a good one. It was a good one. Now, I must say, I'm really, really starting to enjoy the Super Rugby, man.
So let's check out the games for next weekend.
No. It's Monday. We don't check out next weekend's games on Monday. We do that on Wednesday. We don't want to spoil the shows on Wednesday already, man. We're looking back at what the people fucked up on the weekend.
But listen here, we've got a super chat in there, and it's from Lawrence. Thanks very much for that, Lawrence. I am so excited for winning
to pay for that shirt that's coming your way.
I am so excited for winning the tips this weekend. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
No, you didn't win the tips. You won you won the competition. Vern also won the competition. He doesn't get anything.
Exactly.
He gets an applause from you. There you go. Before we go into the URC, I'd like to put out the big teddy bear there. Get well soon to Jaden Hendrickson. That didn't look good. He didn't move anymore. His head was being stabilized, but I heard it's a major concussion. So he got his noggin run. I don't know about the brains. I'm not always quite sure. But listen here, I've got to be fair. You know me, I'm Mr. Fair. He's been playing well this year for the Sharks. As cack as the Sharks are, it hasn't been Jaden Hendricks' fault. It hasn't been Esther Hazen's fault. There's a lot of other players I'd blame before those two, So let's have a look at that URC round 12 there. It's coming up in a second. So it all started out on Friday night when I call it blame it on the rain, Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli, baby.
That was an unbelievable game. I mean, Leinster played their juniors. I didn't know. I knew one player from Leinster. One. That was Earnshaw. And Rico.
Nah, you got Ricky and Archie's name on that still came on.
At the end, yeah, Archie came on at the end. But I mean, basically, Boland would have beat them.
Basically.
And Cardiff struggled to beat a Leinster side where I'm saying Leinster got like 18 Irish internationals. Not one of them played. So, but hey, a win is a win. You can only play what's in front of you. Ask the Stormers, remember? Like they said at the beginning of the season. Then that Edinburgh Scarlets game, good win for Edinburgh. They need it. I mean, a lot of teams need wins at the moment now. It's you know, I say the only two teams that are guaranteed a playoff spot right now are Leinster and the Warriors.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that one, yeah.
The Lions then, there was a Lions against the Stormers. Would you like to comment on that game? You did that game. I was sitting at home, listening to you, watching you, and laughing my arse off. Because you were losing it.
I wouldn't say losing it. I was a bit upset, but I wouldn't say lose it.
I don't want. If that's a bit upset, I want to see. I don't want to see when you're really upset.
I'll fucking throw stuff out of the window.
Sasha. Tell us about Sasha FM. I call FM fucking missing. He went fucking missing.
He was total. It was a total. No, he wasn't there. He fucked up so many times. It wasn't funny. Bad kicking. Worse on the field. Couldn't. One penalty. Couldn't make touch. Drop goal horrendous. Now he didn't do one thing good. Not one thing he did good on that game. He was the worst person on the pitch in my eyes. But you must give it to the Lions. The Lions, I mean, the last 10 minutes they were down to 13 men and the Stormers still couldn't score.
Just 1 second here. I got to read something from Jeremiah Murphy. When is Vic shooting the scene he promised with Lisa Ann? Who's Lisa Ann?
I don't know what you promised these people, Vic.
I don't know. You got to remind me, man. I talk a lot of shit when the day's long.
That is true. Now,
Tell me
back to the
Jeremiah.
game.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
It was a bullfrog, but the Lions, Vic, they played with heart, determination, and grit. But as we worked out before the
It's
show
gonna be tough for them
started,
to make the playoffs.
they're not making the playoffs.
Listen here, I'm gonna put out a theory on the Lions, right? I think the Lions have got the best coach out of the 4 South African teams.
Yeah.
I think Van Rooyen, you give him the Stormers, you give him the Bulls, you give him the Sharks, he must probably win the fucking URC. Because, I don't know, these boys are playing for him. They work their asses off. I mean, like I say, you know, with the least talented team out of the 4 SA teams, he's doing the best job.
Oh, by far.
I mean, the man is sensational. I really hope they do make the playoffs. But like we said, I mean, if you look at what the Lions have got coming up, Edinburgh at home, Dragons at home, Warriors at home, Connacht at home. They've got to win 3 of those 4 at least.
Yeah.
Then Leinster away, Munster away, they're not winning.
So
they can make the playoffs if they win all 4 home games. Then they're in the playoffs.
with a bonus point.
But I think it's tough. It always depends what the Warriors send down and stuff like that. And then, of course, the Bulls against the Sharks, to be expected. We knew that. I mean, look, J.P. Peterson is so out of his depth. I don't think he's the right guy. Look, I've read a lot of stories the last few days in the newspapers that they're trying to reconstruct the whole organization. They're changing things. They want to get younger and they want to move older players on and stuff like that. Move them all on because they're all cuck. I mean, right about now, there's about 5 players I'd keep of the Sharks. I'd keep Edward van der Merwe. I'd keep Jaco Williams. I'd keep Andre Esterhuizen. I'd keep Ethan Hooker. Maybe Vincent Chikatuka. And then the rest can go.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you're not bringing in
your Stormers are looking for an old age home. You know, Bongi, Koch can all go to the Stormers.
Nah, we got enough. Nah, the Bulls were good, and we've worked it out. The Bulls have got the next, what was it, 7 games?
We said the Bulls are not losing another game.
I said the Bulls are not losing another game. Dude.
Like I said to you before, I think the Bulls have got that schedule that the Stormers had at the beginning, just the other way around now. They've got a
Exactly.
7-game schedule where you would be surprised if they don't win 5, 6, maybe 7 games. If they anything less than 5 wins, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I can run down. They've got the Stormers at home, that's a win. Cardiff at home, that's a win. Munster at home, that's a win. That's all in Loftus, right?
Yeah.
Connacht, Dragons away, Scarlets away. And then they're not losing to the Dragons, doesn't matter who they send. And then the last two is Tebre and Benetton at home. I mean, if Tebre and Benetton not making the playoffs, they're not sending their best players down.
No, and even if they did send their best players
That
down,
makes no
the Bulls
difference.
are not.
And makes
They
no
are not
difference.
losing another game.
But then let's talk at that Bull Sharks game. And it was just terrible. The Sharks are just not a good rugby team. Let's be honest, man. I mean, I'm going to take it away. I mean, that's why I do call them the clownfish. It's a clown organization. You've got so much talent. It's like fucking giving a world-class chef. You give him truffles, you give him saffron, you give him Kobe beef, you give him the best bloody potatoes in the world, you give him everything, and he puts it all together and he gives you freaking a stew. You know? And it's smart, and it tastes like cuck too on top of it. That's exactly what the Sharks are, man. We cuck. We are cuck. But look, the only thing is, like I said before, Jaden Hendrickson, get well soon. Connacht, that was a surprise, Connacht against the Warriors, but is it a surprise? Because Connacht doesn't have a lot of Irish national players. I think they only have 2. But
And the one doesn't play for
in any
Ireland.
case.
Exactly.
The Warriors is basically Scotland,
That's true.
with a few from Edinburgh. So they didn't play anybody there, so that was a good win for Connacht. Munster, it doesn't matter who. Munster wasn't losing to Tebre, because Tebre rely on the Italian national players, they're also not there. So they were doomed. Then the Dragons against Benetton 15-15. That's just, you know. And good win for the Ospreys against Ulster. Because had Ulster won that game, I think Ulster would also been guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah, so it's a good win for the Ospreys, yeah.
But before we move on, you know, we got that new logo. We've got that new logo from the Sharks. Here comes the new logo, ladies and gentlemen. That is the new logo from the Stormers. The Cuckshitters is their new name. Because they are sinking faster than a stone. We are the greatest. We won 8 in a row. Then we decide that no, we're too good to send a proper team up to play the Harlequins, right? Then they get fucking destroyed, and since then they can't win a game. They can't beat any. I mean, listen here. You couldn't beat.
They did win a game. They did win a game.
Oh yeah, the default game. Okay. But
No, they won against, what was it, La Rochelle.
you can't even beat the worst South African rugby team for years in the URC, the Sharks. You lost twice to the Sharks. Not even the Lions. The Lions beat the Sharks twice.
I know.
If I could rub it in you. If I had to put down that Shield competition, you are the toughest team in South Africa. If I look at that Shield, and now where's my fair weather friend there that can take no criticism? Where's Marnus today? Hopefully he's at school learning something. Because the boys are neutral sometimes, man. There you go. Now that's the new one. Let's have a look at the table quickly at the top of the URC. So we have the Warriors out there on 45 points, 12 games. Leinster 41. I think they're through. Cardiff got some tough games away from home still. I mean, they're away to the Bulls. They're away to the Sharks. They still got the Stormers. So they got to play against against the Warriors as well. So they've got a few tough games, Cardiff. But I also think Cardiff should make it. Then Munster will make it as well. And then I think from the Stormers downwards, Stormers, Ulster, Lions, Bulls, all the way down to like 14th spot, I think anybody can still make it. But I do have the Stormers making the playoffs. I have the Bulls and the Stormers in. I have the Lions might just miss out this year, though.
Once again,
it will be a shame. Now we are nice, so we're going to the bottom half of the table. I mean, Ospreys 29, Connacht 25, the Sharks 24, Edinburgh surprisingly weak as well this year with 23 points. Benetton Benetton, look, Benetton is only 1 point behind the Sharks, but I still can't see Benetton making the playoffs. I think the bottom 4 are basically done. The Sharks, we looked at it before, the Sharks would have to win 6 out of 6 to make the playoffs.
And they're not doing that.
They're not even winning 1 out of 6, man. If we score 5, if we get 3 bonus points till the end of the season, I'm happy. Can't see it happening. Then you prepared something there with the Japanese league. Let's have a look at those Japanese league results there. I'll run through them quickly.
Yeah, I'll quickly run through them quickly.
Okay.
When the Toshiba Brave Liptus losing to the Black Rams there, 14-33. Our old friend PJ Paranara there for the Black Rams scoring a try, man.
I like him. Is he not in the New Zealand setup anymore?
Well, not if he plays in Japan, he's not.
I mean, wouldn't he want to come back next year? Because, I mean, okay, it's tough competition with Roygaard and Ratima and Christie. And look, New Zealand have got the best scrum half trio in the world.
Yes. But PJ Paranara is master. Then, of course, we go to those Uriah D-Rocks against Kobe Steele. That's 19-78. Vic. Jasper Visser playing there for the D-Rocks, not helping much there, old Jasper.
What about Artie? Artie Surveyor plays for Kobe Steele, doesn't he?
No, he didn't play.
Didn't play, okay.
No, but our old man there, Brody Retallick, the old Kiwi and All Black there, scoring 2 tries, man.
Okay.
So that was good for them. Then we had the Wild Knights beating the Me Honda Heat there, 66-19. Damien Delinde played for the Wild Knights, didn't score any points. And Franco Mostert played for the Heat. He didn't score anything either. Then we'll go down to the Yokohama Cannon Eagles against the Cobalt Spears. Jesse Creel scoring a try there for the Cannon Eagles. But it wasn't enough to beat the Spears. That's 10-28 for the Spears. Then we had the Mitsubishi Dynabors against the Toyota Verblitz.
What?
The Toyota Verblitz is Dino Horse, yeah. And Luke Hanyamu plays for the Dynabors. Also didn't score any tries, but they lost to the Toyota Verblitz there. And of course, we had then, last but not least, this Shizuoka Blue Revs there, losing big time to Tokyo Sun Goliath, 24-57. Quagga Smith playing for the Blue Revs, but wasn't good enough, man.
Cheslin didn't play for the Sun Goliath?
No, Chesley didn't play, man.
Okay, all right. So let's have a look at the table out there in Konnichiwa country there in Japan. So, 10 games in there, except for Mitsubishi and Sun Goliath. They'll be playing next week, the catch-up game. So Kubota Spears, only lost 1 game so far. Kobe Steel, so those 2 are, but also the Wild Knights. Those 3 are definitely making the playoffs. Those are the top 3 teams there. Disappointing at the bottom, the Cannon Eagles, Mitsubishi Dynabors, the Horse, Urazu D-Rocks as well, Mihonda Heat. I did a game at the beginning of the season. It was the Sun Goliath against the Toyota Verblitz. It was such a great game. What I got to say about that Japanese game, the crowds are fantastic.
Yeah.
The players all bloody disciplined. I mean, especially the Japanese players. There's no undisciplined. The refs do a good job. The refs are better than the URC because they let the ball run. It's a fantastic league there, and the boys earn money.
That's true.
For our next show, we got to check out how Marnie's doing in Division 2, man.
Yeah, we'll check out, and maybe I'll check out what our Grant Williams is doing as well.
Grant Williams as well. Yeah, there you go. Then it was the French League, mon ami.
Oui.
They played on the weekend. I got those results. I'll go through them. Clermont beating Bionnet 38-15. Toulouse, I'm changing that name. It's to win from now on. It's not that. How can they be called Toulouse? They never lose. Toulouse, to win. To win beating Montauban 68-13. Montpellier beating Racing. That's a little bit of a surprise, 41-17.
Yeah.
Stade France beat Perpignan 42-21. Lyon and Toulon 13-13. Toulon is in all kinds of trouble this year. Custers losing to La Rochelle 26-31. And Paul spanking the shit out of Bordeaux 39-17.
That was a big surprise.
That's another big surprise. If we look at the table there, I mean, to win is on top. They're on top there, way ahead of Pau, Montpellier, Clermont, Bordeaux, and when last did you see Toulon 7th in the French league?
Long time ago, man.
Racing also disappointing. I mean, you expect Montauban, Perpignan, Lyonnais, Lyon at the bottom of the table, but you expect normally you would. If I told you at the beginning of the season, tell me your top 4 in the French league, you'd go Toulouse, Toulon, Bordeaux, and then you just pick somebody else, maybe Pau. But Bordeaux, Toulouse, and Toulon are the teams you always mention in the top 3.
Yeah, I would have still put Racing maybe there, but
it's like when you ask any intelligent person in the world, who's your top 3 in the URC? Warriors, Leinster, Bulls.
True.
That's just the way it is, that's just who we are, mate. Scotland winning, oh my God, oh my Lord, I can't listen to that.
Some people just can't help it.
Premier League, we'll just look at the standings there, I'll just put it up. Well, we won't look at them because there's nothing there. Let's have a look at the Six Nations, because that is coming up on this weekend. Lawrence is talking about it in the thing. Ireland, Wales, I can't see Wales getting anything out of that game.
No.
I think Ireland will thrash them. And then it all depends what Scotland and France do. Is there a scenario where you see Scotland winning this game?
Yes, I can.
Don't be biased.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be very honest with you now. And I've like I said, I've got a lot of French guys at work, and we talk a lot of rugby. And they said, and I agree with them, you never know what French team rocks up.
The French are like real divas, right?
Exactly.
And
if they don't rock up, and the Scots have a lucky day, I think the Scots can win that game. I'm going
to say it this way. I think Italy has got a better chance of beating England than Scotland has of beating France. The English are falling like a stone. They're almost falling as fast as the Stormers.
We'll see, man. It's going to be a good game that England
I'm going Ireland win, France win, Italy win.
I'm going Ireland win, France win, England.
Of course you're going to support your son. I know England. You're going England win. There you go. Let's have a look at that Six Nations standings quickly before we end the program today. So it is France, 3 games, 15 points max. Look, Scotland still have to win by a bonus point.
Yeah.
And look, if Scotland just win and France gets a losing bonus point, then France stays ahead. France just needs a losing bonus point.
Yeah, and don't forget, Scotland has to go to Ireland and England have to go to France.
Yeah, look, it could be. Okay, listen here. If, let's say, Ireland win on the weekend against Wales with a bonus point, they go up to 14, right? Let's say Scotland win without a bonus point. They go up to 15. So France will be 16, Scotland will be 15, Ireland will be 14, and England will be 10. So it's, England can't. If France get anything out of the Scotland game, even a losing bonus point, it's over for the English.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I can see Italy getting a bonus point. Even if they lose to England, I can see them getting a losing bonus point. Because the English are just not as good as they think they are.
Yeah.
But good weekend. It's going to be good. Listen, you're on Wednesday. I want to tell you guys on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're going to obviously preview the Six Nations. See what information. And then on Friday in the DEFCON Rugby Show, we'll have all the lineups from the Six Nations. We'll talk about who's out there. Look, if you're the Irish coach, there's one thing you've learned. Don't play Pentecost.
Hell no.
Since they put him on the bench, they've been phenomenal.
I would have to agree with him.
I mean, he's a better kicker than Sasha, but he's not a better number 10 than Sasha. That's the difference. People say you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I like Sasha. I just think, can Sasha play 11, 12, 13, 14, or maybe can we put him on the 15? Because he's not a fly-off's arse. Play him on 15. We can run him. Yeah, I'd rather have Sasha at 15 than Billy LaRue, I'll be honest with you, if we're going with the Springboks.
Yes, no would I.
But if I'm going, if I'm Rusty, I'm not taking him as my number 10 to Australia in the World Cup. I'll take him as my third number 15. I want somebody that can fucking kick the ball. What's the boy's name there from? Smith. doing good kicking there in the URC for what's his name?
For the Lions, yeah.
For the Lions, you know, we got to get a second guy that can kick for poles, because we already got Marnie that can't kick for poles.
Exactly, and then you still got that George Whitehead there, who's actually now at the Sharks, who won the game for the Griquas in the final there, the Currie Cup final. He's mustard, man.
I mean, Jordan Hendricks is not going to the World Cup.
I don't think so.
I don't think Jaden's going to the World Cup either. You know, but I can't wait for those first programs, Vern, that we do the Springbok lineup, because you know people will lose their crap on this program.
Yeah.
You got people.
I know.
I got people. Where's Dean Cook? Where's the man from Vietnam? There's probably a KF dog. I don't know. They're all like, even Russ should be captain. Even Russ is going to be a Springbok. I don't think so.
No.
Ben Jason Dixon, I don't think so. I think Frans Malherbe's got a better chance making the squad than Evan Russ.
Evan Russ is not making the squad.
I don't think so either. Also the Bulls, I don't think Cameron Hanekom's making the squad.
He's got it tough, yeah.
He's got to play. He's got to be healthy for about the next year and a half and play really well. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. That's good, man. So, listen, guys, just quick. Our next show, we got a night off tonight. It's nice, man.
Listen here, it's a good question. Are we going to do the T20? If South Africa makes the final, we'll do it.
Well, first we've got to find a place to do it from.
First, we have to find somewhere where we can watch it.
But I think the final's New Zealand against India. That's just my tip.
Oh, it would be crazy. South Africa, India, man. That would be a great one.
Yeah, but you know, we've got that Donald in us.
I know.
But that's the show for today, you guys. Thanks for joining. It was fantastic. Thanks for everybody that was in the chat. And we'll see each other soon, man. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao, guys.